a red day in the crypto market. We are still maintaining about the $2.5 trillion mark, but we see last 24 hours, majority of the crypto here is in red. And then 7 days, it's kind of the same story. But right now, when you look at the Bitcoin, you see that the price is going down. It broke below the moving average, which is 50-day moving average on a daily. That's significant. And then you went back, retested it, but got rejected. So now you're slowly moving down. How low can it go? No one knows. But the probability is that we are going to come back and retest this trend line and slowly bounce. So the chances are you are going to respect this particular trend line as you've been respecting that for some time now. Right now, what's happening in the market? You go and see like, okay, this is happening. 9 billion Bitcoin is about to be released for, those guys who are waiting for getting back their units. And they're going to probably dump that in the market because, they bought this way early. And right now the price is sky high. So, they are making a ton of profit. But if you're that panic seller thinking, this is about to happen now, that's not. You come down, you read through this, and you kind of understand, okay, that's not time to panic sell right now, because most probably this is not going to happen this year. Likely happening in Q1 or Q2 of next year. You always know that these kind of stuff, when they say Q1, Q2, it usually happens by Q2. You have a lot of examples. Now, it can even get extended, delayed from there, right? So in that perspective, you need to understand this is some kind of market tactics which is being released at a time when, it's kind of buying low aspect. Then, at the other hand, you kind of have this. Now, I don't know your political stance, but looking at this, yes, there are some kind of bad stuff which is being signed into for crypto, right? Just $10,000 transaction, worth of transaction, is to be notified to the IRA by the exchanges. So now exchanges are in a bad place where, most of the customers in US where the portfolio is ballooning. And by the end of this year or early Jan, say maximum to February, you're going to see your portfolios moving higher if you are consistent enough on big assets which are about to blast, right? So when you actually see all of this, there's like, okay, so the tax law is changing. You're going to get hit hard. And I'm seeing a lot of members moving from the US towards, countries where they don't have capital gains like Singapore. Or some of them directly moving within the jurisdiction of US, say Puerto Rico, right? So this is happening because people understand. Now those are thinking guys. They think long term. For them, it's not about the short term stuff. Why? Because they definitely understand that majority of those who try to trade on a short-term basis lose money. Do you want to be one among them? Or do you want to be on the other side of this where you make money? Now, I'm not saying that I perfectly know what's going to happen tomorrow. Because most of them who say that, probably they don't know what they are talking about. But the chances are high that you are following this particular cycle. Now, price goes up, green candle, you chases it, boom, the price goes back down and you lose. The price goes down, rather than buying there, you are like, okay, I'm selling. That's where you lose. The psychological roller coaster make you a loser. But what you can do rather than trying to get that is trying to combine these. Now, no one can time the market perfectly. But rather than buying the tops, if you are buying at support, say at the bottom range, and you have time to give into the market, now that gives you a strategy of making enough profits, at least ensuring that you are going to take profits out of the market rather than, just jumping around in between coins and losing money. Welcome to the Scientific Investor family, where we discuss crypto and science behind investing regularly. So, in next 3 months, I personally believe we are going to have a ton of assets which are going to move higher. And with this strategy of combining, trying to time the market, not perfectly, and understanding that we won't be getting the exact bottom or the top, you kind of skim out the bottom 15%, top 15%, and if you are able to make that 70% in between, that's great. Say the market is going to run 15x, and if you're going to make 10x, for me, that's not bad. Now, everyone will definitely ask, okay, how can you even think that you are going to be able to do that? Trying to combine those. So if you go back in time, we were looking at a lot of different assets, say Zcash. When it was going down, moving down, we were saying that, okay, wave one is over, right? We're going to go through the correction. So we expected that after wave one, anyway, we are going to get those corrections. Now, it was back then. Great. So what was the time? May. Then, after that, in July 22nd, I posted this one for my members saying, what we are waiting for is this, and that's going to be that stuff where bullish momentum is going to come back into the market. Because the RSI, the MACD, the indicators which we use are showing bullish. So if it's me, I'm like, okay, that's the area where you buy in. So just now, I informed you guys, we are not about to do this, we are doing something opposite. What? You buy at support and be waiting, patiently waiting until it reaches your target. So then what happens? The price slowly bounces, moving up. So if you bought in that low, you're already in profit by the time it's moving higher. And then the indicators are showing we are going to break higher. Right now you look at what Zcash is actually doing in the price. You can come back here, you can push this in this side, and then you go down and you actually see a lot of coins performing well, right? Among them is Zcash for you as you move higher. Now, if you want to look at Zcash over last time, you can actually check it here. Look at the liquidity, look at the volume, and you will understand that. Then another metaverse stuff right now. Metaverse is actually getting attention because of Facebook is doing well, right? They're moving into that arena. Now, if you look at Engine Coin, we have done great stuff in the wave 1 and we are moving good in wave 2. But what if you knew that by $1 mark is kind of near the bottom? Now, it's not exact bottom, but somewhere close to the bottom, and you can buy it and hold it to make a lot of profit. Yeah, we were talking about that. So by June, we were saying, okay, this is kind of the bottom which we anticipate. So if you are about to buy in this region, you are going to go towards wave 2. If you are happy with 10x, take the profits. If you're happy with 5x, take the profits, right? So it's completely up to you how you deal with this stuff. So we informed that yes, the market did great and it corrected like this. So the chances are you are now slowly going to buy back in because it looks like a bargain for me back then, right? So that's in June. So when you are combining this, say by that time you got that, and then in June 23 you got this information, you are compiling that and you're waiting for a better opportunity, and then in July you're getting a breakout. So that's like, okay, I took a right decision. So the market is moving higher. So why am I saying this? Because you have a ton of assets which are performing well, which are hitting our targets, which are moving as expected in this market. So if you are waiting through these and you want updates like this, you can always look at the Patreon. The link is given in the description below, and it's not mandatory. Only if you want to know these kind of updates where you're like, okay, fine, the market is there and there's a lot of different assets. Now, precisely the question comes back to, okay, I'm an XRP investor. I'm only in XRP. Right, don't even look at that. Just focus here. On a macro, this is what XRP is showing you. Now for me, this is bullish. I don't know about you, but definitely for me, this is bullish. This is a monthly chart showing you a possibility. Now, why am I only showing the possibility to the upside? Because I'm a bull in this particular asset and the impulse is to the upside. If you are measuring this, you had an impulse to the upside, you corrected. You had an impulse to the upside, you corrected. Repeat and rinse, you're doing the same. You are moving to the upside. So what do you expect next? Another blast to the upside. So that's the first impulse which we always talked about. Just the timeline is getting extended, but the pattern is still the same. We are not breaking below. If we break below, yeah, that scenario changes unless it's a fake out and we come back in, right? Now that's on a monthly. So if you're looking at a similar asset which now the use case is a little bit different, similar in the sense of price action. You get to see iota like that, right? You're looking at this is on a weekly, and you see similar pattern where you had an impulse to the upside, you corrected back down, and possibilities are you're gonna break to the upside. Now we have our target set, a wave to exit set. We know where we are gonna exit. Now the indicators, the price action, all of this helps you to maneuver around different assets, and as you maneuver through these assets, you're like, okay, fine. I understand that there is a possibility of all of these coins which are slowing down or slowed down for some time is going to blast through. Now that's when you're kind of stepping back in. See, this is a 3-day chart. And when you see the price coming back down, literally, when you see the price coming back down, you're looking at what did happen previously when the price reached this trend line. And if you are that individual who are looking like, okay, it reached that trend line and bounced. It came back to that trend line and bounced. It came back to that trend line and bounced. So what do you expect? Majority would be like, okay, the price is coming back there. Chances are, boom, it's going to bounce to the upside. But it may not be that direct bounce to the upside, which is to $5, $10 like that. It can be a retest to this region, which would be 1.5, then 1.82. Now, those are heavy resistance which we have to surpass because the RSI is trending to the downside here at the top. Now, in general, right now we are trending to the upside, but the macro trend, you need to break to the upside on a daily. Now, you go look at the BTC dominance to understand what's the scenario, like, whether alts are going to run high, BTC is going to slow down, BTC is going to go down. This is BTC dominance. The BTC dominance highlights you that the possibilities are it's gonna go down, and as BTC drops, the number of assets you see here turning in exceptional green numbers are gonna be high. The altcoins here are gonna run pretty high. So you kind of come here and look at like, okay, in last 1 week you have seen a lot of coins starting to move. Once you are in decent profits, believe me, take profit. If you are 5x, if you are 10x, if you are moving higher, take profits gradually. Because if you don't take the profits, do understand, in the marketplace, there are a lot of guys who are trading, right? And as the majority of traders are losing money, they would probably try to take those profits to come back in and buy back at a lower end. But what happens is the price breaks out and it goes higher, 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 and they come back chasing the price. So that's why they lose. But you don't want to be that guy. What do? You have an exit strategy. You take your profits a little by little as you go higher. So if the market decides to come back down, you have the liquidity to buy back in. If the market decides to continue higher, you still have units to average up slowly. So what we are doing, the price goes up, you're averaging to the upside. The price goes down, you're buying and averaging to the downside. So you're not trying to catch that exact peak, say, I'm going to shoot it out. That's hard unless you're a sharpshooter and you're so lucky getting those price points. Now, if you're one of them, great, good luck. But majority are not like that. So that's why I say in the marketplace, you have a ton of opportunity. You look at the altcoin, it's coming back to the support range where usually it bounces, because looking at the history of altcoins, what we see is a big blast through the roof. Because if I'm right here, we had a long-term accumulation, we bursted, we went to the all-time highs, we consolidated there for a year, around a year. Now here you had a rounded bottom, you accumulated and you went up, you went above the all-time high, you're consolidating there around 300 days. So now, give or take in 20-40 days, you're about to start the blast, and that blast is only there for 20 to 40 days. So that's like, okay, great. Now we are nearing the end of November. So December, Jan, Feb is mostly gonna be blasting through, because by the time you slowly take off, small coins, they pump. The big candles here, the real pump here in the altcoin market, you're watching that because the large cap coins are moving. So the initial movers may not be the large coins. You see the micro cap blasting through. You see this micro, small, medium, large, all of them having a fluctuation through. So what to see is the price movement, the money flow. So if you are able to observe that the money is moving from the micro to small, small cap to medium, and medium to large, that's actually a great news, because right now when you go into different coins, say especially when you see IOTA or Zcash pumping, you're like, okay, fine, I can see like the money is slowly coming from medium and large cap. It's entering large cap. So now you already went through micro, small, medium, and a little bit of exposure in to the large caps. So if you understand that, you're gonna make money in this market cycle. So guys, if you received value for your time, please do hit that like and subscribe button, because that supports the channel a lot. And if you wanted updates like these for any assets in your portfolio, or to generally understand which type of assets are going to give you that profit, definitely have a look through all the charts furnished in the Patreon. The link is given in the description below. You can look at that, and if you have time and patience, you can wait till the end of this month. Join December 1st or 2nd in your time zone, so you're not charged for just 7 days, right? You get the maximum value, you get to make a ton of profit in wave 2. So guys, that's it, and I'll meet you on the next video. Bye for now.